Hey there. Today we're going to learn how to divide by one-digit numbers using our standard division process. And in our division process, we have four main steps that just kind of repeat themselves. The first step is dividing. The second step is multiplying. The third step is subtracting. And the last step is bringing down or bringing up. So if I had a problem, (504) divided by 3, I'm going to start with just my first digit, which is 5. And my first step is to divide. How many times will 3 divide 5? So how many times will 3 go into 5 without going over? I know that 3 times 1 is 3, and I know that 3 times 2 is 6. So 3 times 2 will not work. 3 can only go into 5 one time. The 1 goes directly above the digit that I was dividing by. My next step is to multiply. So I'm going to multiply these two numbers out here. 1 times 3. And 1 times 3 is 3. And that number is going to go directly below the 5 that I'm dividing by. My next step is to subtract. I'm going to subtract these two numbers, 5 and 3, and 5 minus 3 is 2. My last step is to bring down or bring up. In this case, since there are still digits after the 5, I need to bring those down one at a time, starting with my 0. So I'm going to take my 0 and I'm going to drop it right next to the answer that I got when I subtracted. Now the whole process starts over again, back at the start. So instead of coming back up here, I'm going to focus on this number right here with my dividing. 3 divides 20 how many times? Well, I know that 3 times 7 is 21. That's too many. So I'm going to do 3 times 6. Again, that 6 goes directly above the digit that we had just brought down. Now I need to multiply. 6 times 3 is 18. And then I need to subtract. 20 minus 18 is 2. And then finally, I still have numbers over here after the 5, so I'm going to bring down my last digit. And I'm now looking at 24. Start the whole process over. Divide. 3 divides 24 8 times. Multiply. 8 times 3 is 24. Subtract. 24 minus 24 is 0. And then since there's nothing left over down here to bring up, and there's nothing else over here to bring down, my problem is over, and my answer is simply 168. But what happens if there's something that's not 0 down here, if there is something to bring up? So again, I have my same process: divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down or bring up. In this case, I'm going to divide 1020 divided by 9. All right, starting at the first digit, I'm going to try and divide. 9 cannot go into 1. 1 is less than 9, so I can't divide 1. I'm going to say that it goes in 0 times. I'm then going to look to my next digit. Now I have 10. 9 can go into 10 one time, so I'm going to divide it. Then I'm going to multiply 1 times 9. That's going to give me 9, and that goes directly below. Then I need to subtract 10 minus 9 is 1. And then I need to bring down my 2. And the whole process starts over again. 9 divides 12 one time. 1 times 9 is 9. 12 minus 9 is 3. And I need to bring down my final digit. And now I'm looking at 30. 9 divides 30 3 times. 3 times 9 is 27. When I subtract, I have 3 left over. Now at this point, I don't have any more digits to bring down, but I do have a digit left over that I need to bring up. And the way I'm going to bring it up is it's what's known as my remainder. So I'm going to write R3 for remainder 3. So my whole answer would be 113 remainder 3.